Hey everyone, Squee913 with Kriana.
Hello.
And I know I just put an update video where I asked you guys to vote on one of three classes for me to play throughout SWTOR, and
Caucasian samurai.
forget all that because we've had a pretty good idea. As far as ideas go, I think this one's a pretty good one.
Mm.
All right, so let me lay the scene. Kriana and I were talking, and here's what we want to do. We want to do a co-op LP of SWTOR.
SWTOR.
But what
Yeah.
we're going to do is something we've never seen on YouTube and something that no other game would allow us to do, and this one would be perfect for. We are going to both be either the two Sith or the two Jedi. Like, for example, I'll be Sith Warrior, she'll be Sith Inquisitor, or I'll be Jedi Knight, she'll be Jedi Counselor, or vice versa, and we'll both be those two classes. Why? Because we can group together and we can experience each other's stories as if we're just one party experiencing both stories. Because we both start on the same planets, we both go to the same places until we get ships and can do our free roam. We can literally group up with each other and do all of each other's missions together. So instead of you just experiencing one story, you'd get to experience, and the way we would play it out is like they're just two friends who are helping each other and experiencing this one great big story together.
Hmm.
And SWTOR would let us do it. It lets you group up. It lets me go on all of her story missions. It lets her go on all of my story missions. It lets us do all our side quests together. I mean, it works so perfectly. We can do all the flashpoints, which are like the multiplayer stuff.
Hmm.
We could even make our own guild, and that way it'd be so great because she'd have her story and her rivals and her love interest, and I would have mine. But it would be like we're part of the same party.
Hmm. And yeah, and we were also talking like because there are some conversations where you speak with your companions and you have that one-on-one with them. Anytime that would happen, what we do is I would record from my end and I would send the video to Squeeze, so you'd still be getting the full content of the story in a single video, should be pretty nice.
And I just love the idea that it's almost like, um, I mean, I would have my story, I'd have my companions, my romance, my nemesis, my everything, and she would have all of hers. But it's like she's my friend helping me out with my problems and vice versa. And since I've heard that all the stories are linked, in other words, well, from what I heard was if you play, say, the Sith Warrior, and then you play the Inquisitor, there's certain links that you're like, oh, that's why this happened. And to be able to show both of them at the same time would give a much fuller picture,
Hmm.
which would be really interesting and exciting.
Yeah.
So we're going to do that. So there's a new vote because we really don't care which one we do, the Sith Jedi, or the Sith Lords or the Jedi. So we're going to put another vote. It's just one of two. Would you rather see us play through the two Jedi storylines together or the two Sith storylines together? And just so you know, if we choose the Sith, it's going to be two good people trapped in an evil world.
Hmm.
Basically, we're not going to be dicks. We're not going to be slaughtering people because we're Sith lords. It'd be
I,
more like, well, yeah, you might
well,
go.
I might I go into bitch rages, okay? I can't help it when I do.
But for the most part, the idea would be that, they're two friends that gravitated together because they were actually kind of decent people in an evil world. Or we could do the Jedi storyline and just, from what I've heard, the Jedi Counselor is much more diplomacy and high level politics and stuff like that. And I think it would combine really well with the Jedi Knight.
Mhm.
So you have the choice of us doing the Sith Lords or the Jedi stories, and we'll do them together. And I'm going to replace that with the vote. I'm sorry, guys. I know a lot of you voted, but I think all of you would agree this is a much better idea.
You better agree.
So yeah, send the vote up, and then we'll start with whichever you guys choose soon.
Hmm.
Looking forward to it.
Yes.
Bye.